Yesu no ke kahuhipa mai kai e ia mako ka ohana, ke olohe ahahai. He aloha, alakai ai hainai mai, alakai ai hainai mai. He aloha, he aloha.
One of the most special things about the hula is rather than it just being a dance, you're telling a story through the hand motions, through your expressions, through the way you make people feel through how you move. Like, I can make, just from a dance, I can make people feel uplifted and happy, or I can even make them feel sad.
Hula is actually storytelling in a dance form, but it also shares culture and knowledge and history.
The Hawaiian language is so beautiful. There's very few negative words in the Hawaiian language, and everything works out for a reason, and it's our attitude that makes the day better.
Music excites some kind of connection when you listen to different tones.
Day for fishing, that old Hawaiian way.
Hi, my name is Emily Simon. I'm here today with the Hula Connection doing dancing with the whale watching.
When she was born, she had 2 birth defects. If a child has 2 birth defects, they look for a syndrome. They never found any syndrome, they never found really anything, but we started testing at that time. We're sent to a developmental pediatrician who tells me Emily will never speak. She will throw tantrums because we won't know what she wants. We're going to have a board with a picture of water so she can point to the water. And so the doctor says to me, he says, well, you don't look very happy, Mrs. Simon. And I said, well, because what you're saying is not true. And I said, she throws tantrums all right, but we know exactly what she wants. He wanted me to sign a paper that the school had to be provided his report. And it said, Emily will throw tantrums. Emily will never speak. Emily will this or that. And I said, I'm not signing that. I said, that's not true. So he says, if I change it to might or possibly, I said, you can change it to whatever you want, but she was categorized as communicatively handicapped, or CH.
Dancing hula is therapy for me. It helped me connect with people and more react. Pearly shells from the ocean, shining in the sun, covering the shore. When I see them, my heart tells me I love you more than all those little pearly shells.
When I see them, my heart tells me that I love you more than all those little pearly shells.
A kumu hula is a master in the dance of hula. And also, I am a kumu for Polynesian music and dance, which includes Tahitian and Maori and some other Polynesian cultures. As a speech pathologist, I teach all kinds of students and people how to talk and how to communicate. So hula has a lot to do with teaching sign language and communication, and my training has helped me to integrate the hula profession and art form into speech language pathology.
Lianne was her speech therapist. Lianne recommended hula, and I thought, that's hula? Actually, Hawaiian hula is slower.
So I have two sons. One is Terrence. He's right now 22 years old, and he's going to the University of Hawaii. But Terrence, when he was very young, I would say as soon as he could sit up, he was pounding on Tupperware containers and anything that would make a noise. Blakey is my 16-year-old. And Blakey is very different from Terrence. Blakey is more the reserved, shy person. He has much musical qualities and talents. He is of the generation that grew up with YouTube and Facebook and computers. So his interests are very different. But at the same time, both of them were immersed in music and dance ever since they were in utero.
If I have an issue when he discusses what I'm supposed to play, I'll speak up about it, and then I'll usually get as much hands-on experience with it as I can.
I remember Brother Terrence, asking, why is it so hard for Blakey to learn the same things that he picked up so easily? And I had to explain to him, of course, that they're two very different people. I find that there's a population that's very, very, very bright, but may have some social challenges. I would think that Blake has some of that too, but we don't specifically put the label of autism on him.
This labeling word, it can be a two-edged sword, in my opinion. It can be good and it can be bad for many different reasons.
In our world as a parent, when you get around other parents and you get to know them well enough, okay, what's your child's diagnosis? What's this? And there's all these buzzwords. So there are labels going around. But the thing with labels, just because you have a label, that doesn't limit you.
You might get additional funding, but you might be shunned by people who
Don't understand.
who considered you exactly like them. Now all of a sudden, well, why is Sally different than me? Well, because she's special ed.
But I think I have the gift of helping them without having to place a label on them. Working in the public school sector and working with the factor of money, many times we do have to pigeonhole the kids that we work with into certain categories, because if we don't, then the government will not fund that certain category.
The movie Rain Man sometimes bothers me because you run into people that don't know anybody personally that's on the spectrum, and they'll go, well, that person's not acting like that guy in Rain Man.
Yes, that'd be good.
Sally Tibbs, Sally. 461-0192.
How did you know my phone number?
How'd you know that?
She said read the telephone book last night. Tibbs, Sally. 461-0192.
He remembers things, little things sometimes.
And you're like, well, no, that's a movie. It's not life. I mean, so I find that people, the mainstream, thinks everybody that's on the autism spectrum is supposed to act like Dustin Hoffman in that movie.
I use the word autism as far as when I'm explaining what it is to the people who ask me what it is. And I use the word autism when I have to, but at the same time, I think I use it in terms of explaining what the disorder is to someone.
A lot of people just don't have a knowledge of it, don't really know much about it, don't really know what's okay to say about it, and what it's kind of, they are treading lightly. They don't want to say anything that offends anybody.
I think some people are just, I guess, afraid just about it. They don't know a lot. If they don't know a lot about it, they're afraid to say anything because they don't know much.
I never think about whether or not someone's on the spectrum or something. They're who they are. When you have the spirit of aloha, you respect that person, respect their different ways and styles.
Because to me, when I see a person, that person is a person, but I use it as a professional.
One of the interesting things that I've learned, it's all about communication with body movement. There is a language based on their gestures, which I've never realized you can use a language more than just what you're saying.
Okay, so this song is Sophisticated Hula, and your first steps to this song is a kahola, which your arms are out like this, and you bend your knees a little bit, and you do a step together step kind of movement with your hand or with your feet. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then your next step is in the song, it goes hands on your hips, do those hula dips. So you're gonna put your hands on your hips exactly like this, and you're gonna sway back and forth like this. And then you're gonna dip down, and then dip down again. And then the next line in the song is Sophisticated Hula, and the movement for that is this movement. 1, 2, 3. And then is the talk of the town, and this is how you do, this is talk, so your hands to your mouth and out to the audience, basically. So talk of the town with both hands.
What we're doing here is we're setting up right now for tomorrow's dance instruction. It's a hula. This will be our dance room and also our room over here that we're setting up for interviews.
Today we have our booth set up here to inform the public about the existence of our center, and also to give a little bit more public awareness about what autism is and what resources are out there for families.
I had a great time here at Aloha.
All week long, that was all that Emily talked about, was just, Dad, you gotta be there on Saturday. Dad, they're gonna do an interview. And I was just sitting there saying, okay.
Mahalo nui loa. It was such a fun day today.
This is a wonderful experience. I've never been a part of anything like this before, quite like this.
The crew is amazing, and I love dancing hula.
Yeah, I had a great time here today. Just want to say thank you to the crew, thank you to the dancers, thank you to the band, and yeah.
So amazing grace, how sweet the sound that made a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found, was blind, but now